Well, hello and welcome back to our Maserati F1 Manager series, as we will be heading to what is already race 4 out of a 20 race calendar this year in 2025, and in this series as voted by the community. So yeah, another race or so and we'll be a quarter way through the season already, but we have got 10 days until we get to Bahrain, so I'm hoping we can get a little bit more design work done and get this car further up the grid. But if you haven't already checked out this new series, then please do subscribe to the channel and head over to the playlist, and you will see the Maserati playlist, and all the previous episodes are there. So go back, catch up, and then meet us back here. But as I say, race 4, and that came off the back of Japan last time out, the first sprint weekend of the season, and what a sprint it was. We managed to somehow get some points in that sprint. So as you can see, we weren't expecting points this early, but we do have a whopping 3 points and a 7th in the constructors, so we will take that indeed. So a very good weekend. The race didn't go as well because we decided to absolutely wreck Hulkenberg's race in the Kick Sauber. So first of all, Maloney went into him and crashed out, DNF'd in the race. And then Colapinto had a go on him as well, got damaged, got a 5-second penalty. He did recover somewhat. So if we look into the race result, and you'll see that Colapinto did come back to 16th place. So still got our sponsorship bonus for getting back to 16th. I think we put 21st or better. So it was an okay recovery, but I think we could have been challenging, perhaps, around Lawson and Ocon at one stage. So yeah, the pace wasn't too bad around Suzuka, but that sprint race was very nice indeed in getting our first points of the season. Let's say we are heading to Jeddah in 10 days time, but it doesn't look like we are going to have some new designs done because the underfloor is 12 days and the rest are quite a bit out. So it will be the same car that we ran in Suzuka. So let's see how we go in Bahrain. There might be a couple of bits that we need to do before we get there. If you can do me a massive favor as well, and please smash that like button. The likes really do help me out. Super appreciated with all those smashing that like button. So please just take a second to press that like button. But yeah, let's crack on, see what we've got to do for the rest of this one before heading to Bahrain. Okay, good news. Franco Colapinto and his race engineer Carlo have resolved their tension, so that's all good. That will help with mentality. And of course, what we haven't looked at, a little bit car damage since that last race. Colapinto, his suspension needs replacing, but we have actually got a new suspension. Although design work is still underway with these projects, we have recently finished a suspension, which we didn't have on the car in the previous race, so we will get a suspension on both cars. This is the damage to Maloney, though. No chassis, no front wing, no rear wing, no suspension. So we're going to have to manufacture some of this. We haven't got a spare chassis by the looks of it. Have we got that underway as well? No, so we're going to have to get a chassis. That's going to take 10 days. So that'll take us all the way to that race. We probably want to do a couple of those. So Zane Maloney might be running some older parts here. Can get another front wing on. Rear wing. No, we've only got one. So he might have to run an old rear wing. We'll wait because we've got some other... We're waiting for those suspensions. So let's just wait and see. The other thing we need to look at is... Oh, look at that. He's absolutely wrecked the gearbox. Engine 56%, ERS 71. Not too bad. He's probably took, what, 10% out of both of those. But yeah, gearbox absolutely gone then for Maloney with that accident with Hulkenberg in the full race in Suzuka. Okay, we've got a driver development update, and although they've not gone up overall, they are going up on some of their statistics. So Maloney has gone up to 80 on his cornering, up from 79, and Colapinto up 1 on his adaptability, 78 to 79, and his defense has gone from 81 to 82. We're trying to focus on his smoothness, but that's not gone up as yet. Okay, pit crew training for the month. Trying to balance this out. We've got a couple of races, of course, this month, and yeah, a bit of rest in between. So cumulative tab, we're looking good for the races on the Saturday for both of these races, of course, this year, and just creeping over to tired. So that's what we're happy with. 31% there, 30% there. Chance of mistake will be very low at 13% for Bahrain, 12% for Saudi. And then in terms of the rest, a little bit of an increase on the stats. And a little bit of a reduction on the pit stop time, ever so slightly, but that's good. We're forever keeping that down, getting that down. And car building improves a little bit as well, so we're happy with that. Okay, we have arrived then at Bahrain for practice. Let us have a look. Did we get that suspension done? We've only got one suspension. So chassis, we can get that other chassis on Zane Maloney's car. Suspension, he's going to have to run an old suspension. And he's going to have to run the old rear wing then. That is just down to his error, really. So the cars are probably going to look a little bit different here, aren't they? Let's just go to car analysis. This is Colapinto. So you can see we're still really struggling with the medium speed and low speed, but we have got a really good underfloor and front wing coming, which I hope is going to improve that. But I'd imagine if we flick over to Zane Maloney here. Yeah, Maloney is going to be struggling. Look, high speed goes straight down to 20th. Due to running those old parts. So it's going to be a bit of a struggle for Zane Maloney in this one. But let's see how we go then as we head to practice in Bahrain. We'll go 21st or higher. So let's risk it for a biscuit. Let's go 20th or higher with Franco Colapinto. And we'll go 21st or higher with Zane Maloney. Get underway in practice. Okay, practice in Bahrain completed and pretty good session really. Track acclimatization 100% for both. Car parts knowledge slightly down on Franco Colapinto. But he has got those new parts on the car where Zane Maloney hasn't. And setup satisfaction just 1% shy for Franco at 99%. Maloney at 93%. But overall, they're both well set up at 96% driver preparation each as we head to qualifying next. And as we've said, probably going to be a bit more of a struggle for Zane Maloney because he's got some older parts. But let's see how we go as we head to Q1. Here we go then, underway in Q1 here. Colapinto's got some traffic to navigate straight away there, and I think he was held up. We're going to see from that first sector time. Colapinto might need to abandon this lap. Maloney's got traffic as well. They're getting out of the way nicely. Colapinto 27.5. I think this is going to be pretty slow though. Yeah. Lost half a second, so let's call Colapinto in. And we'll Zane Maloney will finish his lap, but we haven't really got a comparison, so let's get Colapinto in and out. Maloney set to 130.5. Right, Colapinto is back out then. Let's see if we get on better this time round. Maloney in the pits. We'll send him back out perhaps for one final run. Like Colapinto should go a lot quicker, and he does. 26.9. That's more in line with what Maloney did. Let's see how we go. Another bit of traffic, it looks like. Don't know if we're held up there a bit on that corner, you know. This is looking to be a bit of a struggle so far. Maloney's gone quicker than Colapinto, Lawson and Bortoletto locked up. But we're quite a bit off Behrman in the Haas there, 3/10. And even Hulk in the other kick. He's nearly a second off Hulkenberg, so that's not good news at all. Right, we are green through these next sectors, and we will be because we abandoned the lap before sector 2 and 3. So let's just keep it running then with Franco. See if he can out-qualify Maloney. Just this straight to do then. Let's see where Franco goes. Cross the line, and he does beat Maloney by quite a bit there. Nearly 8/10. Obviously, he's got a couple of new parts than Maloney because Maloney's had to go back to old parts due to that big crash in Japan. But Colapinto, not a bad lap at the moment, it appears. Okay, Colapinto is going to be out in this first qualifying session. We've only got one set of softs left, and I want to keep those for the race. So he's down to 18th. We're not running again, unfortunately. Maloney is back out. He's got another set that he can use. So let's just see if he can go any quicker. Currently 21st. As we've been saying, going to be a bit of a struggle. Colapinto wasn't too far off here. There might be some quicker times, but he's only a 10th off Q2 as it stands right now. As I say, still a few cars to go. Maloney is not going quicker through that first sector, so not looking good for Maloney here. He may well be starting dead last by the time Gasly puts his next lap in. Yeah, Colapinto, if we had some fresh softs, we might have been able to get through to Q2. Just depends if the rest of the grid start going quicker here. As Doohan and Hulkenberg have finished. So yeah, only a tenth and a half off Hulkenberg and Doohan is Colapinto. Goes quicker than Bortoleto. So yeah, I think Colapinto, if we got on quicker on that next lap, he would have got through to Q2. But Maloney is unfortunately not going quicker, even on a set of fresh softs, as he comes across the line and, yeah, doesn't improve. So looks like we've got Ollie Bearman. Is he on a... He's on an in-lap. So Colapinto does qualify P18. And it's 21st for Maloney. Confirmation then, R2 drivers knocked out. Definitely to be expected at this stage, especially with Maloney. But I think if we did go for that extra run with Colapinto, he probably would have got through, as I say. Just a tenth he would need to have found there. So, yeah, let's see what happened in Q3, though. Ooh, Ferrari looking very good round here. So Ferrari 1-2, Leclerc, then Hamilton. Then we've got Russell, Max Verstappen 4th. Then the two McLarens, Lando and Oscar respectively. Kimi Antonelli 7th. Yuki Tsunoda in the Red Bull in 8th. Lawson 9th. And Fernando Alonso rounds out the top 10. Let's jump into strategy then before getting this one underway. Okay, two-stopper then for both drivers. Slightly different variation in the compounds, or the order of compounds, we should say. Colapinto's going soft, medium, softs. Maloney's going to start on the mediums, go a little bit longer on that first stint, then soft, softs. I think it's going to be a long all race for Maloney, but perhaps Colapinto can have a bit of fight at the back of the grid there. But let's see as we start this Bahrain Grand Prix. Here we have it then, the Bahrain Grand Prix, round 4 of this 2025 season. A Ferrari 1-2 getting us underway.
And away we go.
Hamilton, Colapinto starts 18th, Maloney 21st. Let's see how we go in this one. And Colapinto slipped back a position there into 19th. And it's always so timid through here, very slow. And Colapinto is down to 20th because Maloney has taken him. So Colapinto, a very poor start. Maloney having a nice start. So Maloney up to 19th, Colapinto down to 20th. Let's have a look at tyres. Most of the grid then on soft tyres, apart from Maloney, Ocon and Hamilton, who are all running the mediums. So Colapinto, even worse for him that he's allowed his teammate Maloney on a slower compound tyre to get past him there. So work to do. Maloney has just dropped off Bortoleto. Well, I say just dropped off by 3 seconds, and this is giving Colapinto a chance, but Colapinto's behind the gearbox of his teammate, and that's going to allow the Haas of Ollie Bearman to slip through. Will work from Colapinto, and looks to be a race where we've just not got the pace here today. Our two drivers starting to struggle here, and we may well end up at the back, as we did in Australia. Better races in China and Japan, but we've got a bit of a lag, I guess, on our latest upgrades, as Ollie Bearman slips down the inside of Maloney then. And we now run 21st and 22nd, and just Pierre Gasly behind us. And unfortunately, Maloney has not got the DRS there, so he's going to be under pressure from his teammate Colapinto. I think Colapinto's maybe too far back, maybe not. Colapinto later on the brakes, and Colapinto back past his teammate. But as I say, looks like it might be a race where we're going to finish dead last here. As I say, we've got good upgrades coming, but we've not had some upgrades on the car really for the last couple of races. Maloney obviously using some older parts here as well. So, yeah, this might be a race where we struggle. Hopefully in Jeddah and then Imola, we're going to see a much better performance from our team. But start of lap 4 then. 21st for Maloney, 20th for Colapinto. And I imagine Pierre Gasly will be getting past us shortly as well.
Now this
Liam Lawson's had a bit of an off. He was running in 9th as well for RB. And oh no, he's just ran it out wide. And he's parked there until he can find safe re-entry to the track. We are seeing our first pit stops. Alonso and Hadjar are in. It's lap 11. Colapinto still ahead of Maloney, and Gasly yet to pass us. So Gasly's struggling. Our tyre life is a little bit better than the guys around us. We're going to see a few more into the pits, but we'll probably be dead last once we stop. But maybe we'll have a little bit of pace on fresher tyres. We'll see. Okay, here comes Colapinto then for his first stop of the day. We're expecting to go right at the back here. We've gone a lot longer than our competitors. Let's hope for 2.7 or under would be nice. There has been a couple of pit stop errors. Doohan and Ocon struggled with their pit stops. Let's see how we go as we're right at the end of the pit lane, of course. 2.9, not too good at all, but not a major error in there. It's just generally slow. And there we go, as we say, coming right out of the back. Let's see how far off we are. We are 7 seconds off the back, and we've got about a 20% tyre advantage. So let's see how that pans out. Let's just pit him on attack. Maloney due in a couple of laps' time. We've got a yellow flag. Ollie Behrman has had a spin in the Haas. Lights up the rears, and that might be a position we can grab then. Let's have a look what that's done. Ollie Behrman is down to last, so Colapinto is in fact past him. 5 seconds behind now, Behrman. 68 tyre life. That should be good. We want to secure at least 21st and above for our sponsor objective, so that may well do that for us. Maloney is about to come in to stop, so let's just forward him on to get into the box here. And we expect Maloney probably to be out behind Colapinto here. He's gone much longer. So 2.9 was the stop for Colapinto. Let us see what the stop time will be for Maloney. Seems a long old drive because we're right at the end here. And here we go. 2.8, slightly quicker. There is Colapinto. So yes, he's going to have a bit of advantage on his teammate there. Will Maloney keep out in front of Ollie Behrman? He will. And we're nearly being lapped. Lap 24. It's a McLaren 1-2, Ferrari 3-4 at the moment. We're due to stop lap 41 with Colapinto and lap 41 Maloney. Same lap now, so let's we'll push on for that. There's not too much going on in this one at the moment. Okay, we've got a crash here. It's just a yellow flag. Just monitoring that, whether we can jump into the pit lane. It's Jack Doohan. Ooh, and an RB there. Don't think there'll be any penalties for that. I think that'll be a racing instant.
And just like that, the hopes of the...
Let's have a look what's happened there then. Doohan has got damage. Was with Liam Lawson, it looks like there. They're due in for their second stop shortly. So Doohan, if he struggles that damage, might be another position we can get. And I was completely wrong. Lawson has got a 5-second penalty for that. So he's going to be having a slow stop as well. So there might be a couple of positions for us to grab at the back end of this race. Bortoletto and Hadjar behind us now as well, but they've made their second stops. We haven't. We've got another
Here we
crash.
are then at the 11th corner.
Ollie Behrman this time.
So close. Oh, and the car's there, unable to keep out of each other's way.
With Lawson again?
Now that had the potential to do some real damage, given the nature of...
No, that's Hadjar. So Hadjar and Behrman come together now, so that might be yet another position we gain. Just an update on our drivers. They're now running right behind one another. Maloney's caught up with Colapinto. They are due to stop on the same lap, so we just need to monitor that. One's going to have to go one extra lap, so whoever's leading once we get to lap 41 will get the extra, will get preference to come in first. No penalties given between Behrman and Hadjar. Right, it's Colapinto who is the lead car, so we're going to get Colapinto in. And Maloney will come in next lap. Here we go then, Colapinto in for his second and hopefully final stop here. We'll see where we come out because there's been a lot of action at the back there. Doohan, Lawson's taken a penalty, obviously. Hadjar, Behrman coming together. So let's see where we come out. .7, that's our best stop of the day. I believe it was a 2.9 or 2.8. Here is Hadjar. And we're going to be clear of Hadjar. We've got a Mercedes who's lapping us. So yeah, we're clear of Hadjar. We're 12 seconds off Bortoletto. He's on 93% tyres. Yeah, that's probably as best as we can hope for, I think. I don't think anyone else is stopping. We have got 30% on Doohan, and we're only 12 seconds back. So who knows? We might have some pace on him as we get out of the way of that Mercedes. Need to speed up a little bit. We don't want Hadjar all over us. Maloney coming to the end of his stint, so let's get him in as well. It was very close between our two drivers. Let's say the sponsor objective is 21st and above, so hopefully we will
keep focus on our
be able to achieve that, because Colapinto's got, as I say, 3 seconds on Hadjar. Behrman's out of it. He's 30 seconds back, and Hadjar's tyre life is worse, and we're on better tyres, so we should be on for 19th and 20th here. 2.9, so not the greatest there. Colapinto should be past him. And we're fighting that Mercedes. What about Hadjar on Maloney here? He's a little bit closer. Should be fine once we get these tyres up to 10. So Colapinto fighting with Antonelli there. Not ideal for Antonelli, but Colapinto, he's 9.4 off Doohan now. We might have a chance on Doohan here. Nico Hulkenberg is into the pits here. So we've got some drivers having to pit. Carlos Sainz is in as well. This is a surprise. So who else is going to stop with 10 laps to go? Lawson probably. Is Doohan going to have to stop? He might be struggling.
That's okay. Copy.
Got 5 seconds on Sainz, but he's going to really attack on those softs. Okay, we may not finish as low as we expected then. We're now 1.8 off Doohan. This is looking good for Colapinto to get Doohan. Yeah, Lawson is going to have to box, so we'll be past Lawson as well here, but whether they'll come back and get us, who knows. But Colapinto has got the DRS now on Jack Doohan, and we're using a bit of battery. This should be easy work for Franco. And that is going to put us into P16 then, although Doohan's not quite given up. But now with the better tyre life, traction, and ERS, we can pull away. Doohan will get DRS. That should be enough for Colapinto to hopefully maintain this position, and he does. And next we'll need Maloney to get past Doohan. Doohan down to 42%. That's going to be a struggle with those tyres. And Doohan does in fact need to pit. So Maloney has cleared him, but he's got Sainz now 2.4 behind. So I think Sainz is going to get us here. But Carlos Sainz has just set the fastest lap of the race. So I don't think there's much we can do with Maloney against Carlos Sainz here. He's now all over the back of us with DRS.
Copy.
So Carlos Sainz really pushing. He has used a lot of that tyre life. Lawson down to 28%, and we're past Lawson. Why is Lawson not boxing? Colapinto is past him. We'll take that, though. So we're going to get Lawson here, definitely, as well.
Now, we should be able to take a look here.
Right, we're going long on that first stint. It's really worked well for us here.
It's there for the taking.
Oh, Lawson was getting out of the way for Antonelli and just let us pass. Thank you very much. Colapinto is on to Bortoletto here as well. Colapinto is having a mega end to this race. Is Bortoletto now going to pull out of the way as well for Antonelli? No, but Colapinto is going to have a look down the inside, and Colapinto is absolutely flying at the end of this race. 2 seconds now to Ocon. And then 2.4 to Gasly, but Gasly is nearly 30 seconds off Stroll, so 12th is the maximum we could achieve here. Maloney is now on Lawson, so he's going to gain 16th, but then he's probably going to move straight back down to 17th with Sainz all over the back of him. And there we go, Maloney. Surely Lawson is coming into the pits. It's down to 26%. And he does. That's not worked for RB, whatever they are trying to achieve.
Good job.
We've got 6 laps to go then, and Colapinto has come alive in these final stages. This is going to be a nice little result for us. Obviously, it's not points, but this is working well for us at this stage. Colapinto pulls out nice and early on Esteban Ocon. He's going for it on this last corner, and he's going to get through on Ocon. And he's got a bit of battery here, not too much to use, but he's going to be on Pierre Gasly with DRS here. Colapinto into P13, having a lovely end to this race. Is he going to get Pierre Gasly here? No, Gasly though harvesting, and we're going to use battery and DRS out of here. So this should be P12 for Colapinto, as Maloney's got past Bortoletto there as well. But we're going to stay on board for this one. And there goes Franco Colapinto into P12. What a fantastic little ending to this race. Colapinto really showing some pace, and now he just needs to pull away and bring that home. And Maloney, yeah, has got past Bortoletto. That's kept a little buffer to Carlos Sainz, which is nice. Right, Maloney is now on this pairing of Ocon and Gasly. He's dropped Bortoletto by 2.5 seconds, and Sainz is yet to clear him. Maloney, DRS. Gasly's got DRS on Ocon as well. Can we get around the outside there? No, we can't. Ideally, we need to get one of these, but it wasn't the greatest of traction out of there. Here we go now.
In front of you, there is Gasly.
Is Maloney going for this inside? Ooh, no, not quite.
Keep focus on your race now.
Maloney's just got out of the way for Antonelli and has allowed Sainz through. Look at this. Lets Antonelli through, and Sainz with a slipstream. Thank you very much. Maloney tried to cover it off, but well, there we go. That's a bad mistake from Maloney. Can he get past Gasly? Gasly looks like he's just let Antonelli go as well, and that's allowed Sainz to get him as well. Maloney's getting a bit bogged down now.
Gasly in front of you.
Maloney this time on the inside of Pierre Gasly, and he'll get DRS. So finally, Maloney is past Gasly.
You are doing a good job there.
He's got to push back to Carlos Sainz now and Ocon. Here we go then. Fighting with Gasly for a couple of laps now, and Maloney on the inside before this DRS zone gets the job done, and now he's got DRS to push back up to Carlos Sainz and Esteban Ocon.
Oh my goodness.
Ocon is going... I was a bit surprised there. Ocon going... Oh, he's let Antonelli go as well. Ocon was going so slow there. Caught me off guard. It was like a Glock moment there. But Maloney is through. I think we won't see it, but I think he must have slowed up for Antonelli, as a few of us have been. And he just compromised straight line speed, and that was easy work for Maloney. So now it's just Carlos Sainz ahead of us again. But Sainz is going to be harder because he's on 38%. Colapinto remains in 12th. He's got 6 seconds on Carlos Sainz, so Colapinto is secure for P12. Can Maloney hit Carlos Sainz in the closing stages? The problem here is Kimi Antonelli is giving Sainz DRS.
No overtake.
But we're pulling out to the inside. Is Maloney going to send it on the inside? Ooh, he thought about it. We've used all our battery there.
Do your best there.
The leaders are starting the final lap. It's Lewis Hamilton that leads, and it looks like he's going to win this race. Verstappen only 5th, Russell is 2nd, Leclerc 3rd. And we're still chasing down Sainz here.
Do your best, man.
Colapinto has got under 30 seconds to stroll in the end. Gone about his business nicely. And Maloney is trying to get Carlos Sainz here. This is the real only opportunity that we've got, though. And we're not really gaining significantly, are we? And Sainz is going to try and unlap himself on Antonelli. But that might present an opportunity if he pulls back out of the way again.
try to pull down a bit more on your tires.
Right, we're going to do it as well. But if we get out of the way of Antonelli, that's going to compromise ourselves.
No lift off.
We've got one more DRS zone here.
We need some lift off.
Right, this is the last opportunity that we've got. We've only got 12% battery. Let's hope we dump most of it here. We do.
No overtake now.
But he's too far. He's got some battery in hand as Carlos Sainz. We need to conserve a bit of fuel as well because we're critical on that.
Copy.
But there we go. Sainz is going to survive. Hamilton's won it. Russell second. Piastri third. But a great little drive in the end for Colapinto, who is, although he's 28 seconds off Stroll, he has delivered on this final stint a good few number of overtakes. And he is going to finish P12 here in Bahrain. Maloney's got the fuel back that we needed and couldn't quite get Sainz. Compromised with the battle, really, with Antonelli in between them. But Maloney 14th, and I think we'll take that, 12th and 14th. Whilst the car is not very competitive, that is a very good result. Went long on the first stint, and that worked well for us. And a very good result here in Bahrain. This is the full results then. Hamilton wins it, Russell second, Piastri third, Leclerc fourth, Verstappen fifth, Norris sixth, Antonelli, who we saw a lot of at the end of the race there, bogged down in 7th in between cars. He was trying a lap, but they had the pace on him. Yuki Tsunoda, P8 for Red Bull. Fernando Alonso, 9th. And a good drive from Albon, up 7th to claim 10th. And a point for Williams. Drivers' Championship then, and Lewis Hamilton goes to the top of the standings. 76 points against Max Verstappen, just 5 points in it. This could be a tasty old battle, and it's very close, really. It's only 4 rounds, of course, but we've only got a 20-round season. This could be a very tasty tight battle. So Hamilton leads the Driver Championship. Max in second, Piastri third, Russell fourth, Leclerc fifth, Lando Norris sixth, and Kimi Antonelli seventh. No change between third and seventh. Alonso, though, is up to P8. He takes Liam Lawson, who's probably going to be starting going backwards because his points were in the Red Bull, no longer in that car. And Yuki Tsunoda will be going upwards because he's now claimed 2 8th places in a row for a Red Bull in his first 2 races. And I believe it was 8th. He might have got some points in the sprint. Can't remember. But anyway, he's got 8 points after 2 rounds. So he'll be going upwards in 10th. Rest of the point scorers, Albon gets another point. He's in 11th. Lance Stroll in 12th. Colapinto 13th. Sainz 14th. And Maloney 15th. The rest yet to score. So constructors, and it's looking quite good for Ferrari, but only a 20-point lead on McLaren in second. Red Bull are third. Not a great weekend for them. Max, I think, was 5th. And Yuki 8th. Mercedes 4th, Aston Martin 5th, Williams 6th, and Maserati ourselves in 7th. Alpine, kicks Albert, Haas, and RB yet to score. It looks like it's going to be a battle between the top 4, and Aston Martin are going to be in no man's land in 5th, and then it probably be a battle as these teams upgrade for 6th between the rest. And that is going to bring this one to a close. So I think steady progress, you know, not enough to get points today, but we're making progress. We're going up the grid, and we had really good pace in that final stint. So hopefully, as we keep putting on new upgrades to this car, once we get to the halfway stage, or certainly the final part of the season, hopefully we can get onto the tail end of those points more regularly. But if you have made it to the end of the video, please do smash that like button. It really does help me out. And if you're not already, please do subscribe and turn on the notification bell, and you'll be made aware of when we drop all the latest episodes in this Maserati series. And we'll be back very soon with the next one.